So today I wanted to do a bit more of a fun video. I always get asked the question, Sarah, which university would you prefer? Would you rather go to this university or this university? Or other questions like, which do you think is better between these two universities? Now, I think this is a fundamentally flawed question, but you know what? I just thought that we can have some fun and I will go through the most popular ones. Last week on Instagram, I asked you guys if I was comparing two universities, which two universities do you want to see as a matchup? And so we took all of the responses, we created a grid of every single university, and every time two particular universities were asked, we changed the number. And then based on that, now I'm going to answer the most popular ones. And so if we didn't answer the ones that you asked, don't worry about it. If you go on to Instagram and follow us, you might have other opportunities in the future to ask different questions. So I would really recommend it. But let's get started. The most popular question I got, the two most popular universities, was Milan and Sapienza. Now, you guys know that I go to Sapienza, so obviously my answer is going to seem a little bit biased, but honestly, going back to the IMAT, if I had to sit the IMAT this year again and I was given the choice between Milan and Sapienza, Sapienza would 100% be my first choice for multiple reasons. First of all, the weather in Rome is nicer. There's so much more to do. The university is way, way, way nicer. I mean, no shade to Milan, but their campus sucked. It was horrible. And you know, back in 2016 when I sat the IMAT, they were saying that they were going to move the campus then, and even now they're saying they're still going to move the campus, but considering it hasn't happened in the last 6 years, I'm just not confident it's going to happen in the next 6 years either. Additionally, speaking about the order of the exams and how like their didactic activities are organized, I feel more confident with Sapienza's academic strength. So for me, between Milan and Sapienza's IMS, there is no question that I would go for IMS Sapienza. Again, I know it's going to sound biased because I go to Sapienza, but honestly, this is just like my personal opinion. On top of that, I just really liked Rome better as a city. I felt that Milan was definitely more expensive. Sure, there was more like a European vibe to it, I guess. I guess. But yeah, if I really had to compare the two, I think definitely no questions asked, Sapienza would still be my first choice. The next one that I got asked is to compare IMS Sapienza and IMS Bologna. Now this one for me is a really, really tough one, okay? Because now that I've interviewed people from basically every university and I've seen most of the universities, I think Bologna is the one that would tempt me the most to give up Sapienza. And the reason why I say this is not because of the university itself. I mean, sure, the university is cool and stuff and whatever, but for me, it's really the city. Like, I really loved Bologna as a city. It was so cute. Like, you could cycle everywhere. It wasn't busy. It was vibrant. Oh man, I loved Bologna as a city so much. I love Rome as a city as well, but like, I mean, I've gotten mugged here, I've gotten my stuff stolen, and I'm not saying that wouldn't happen in Bologna, but I think how much smaller Bologna is as a city would probably also mean that it's less chaotic. I mean, buses are always getting set on fire in Rome, and a part of me, you know, vibes in that chaos. But yeah, I really think if I had to choose again, it would be a very, very, very tough choice for me. Now, I think if I was choosing based on city, I might be leaning a bit more towards Bologna. But if like academic considerations were higher for me, then I would probably choose Sapienza again. And the reason why I say that is because Sapienza is one of the most established English courses. It has had multiple graduating classes now. I know people who are studying in England and America. So I know that, you know, Sapienza's very academically strong. Like someone in my class got like a 252 in the USMLE or something above 250 anyway. And Bologna still hasn't had a graduating class. So I think between IMS Sapienza and Bologna, I can't say if there's a clear winner like there was with Milan, but I think academically I'm leaning towards Sapienza. City-wise, I'm leaning towards Bologna. Bologna was also slightly cheaper, but I also have heard that it's harder to find accommodation. So I guess I'm going to cop out and not really give an answer, but this would definitely be my hardest choice to make. Next, we have Turin versus Bologna. This I don't even need to consider. 100% Bologna, not a single doubt in my mind. The city matchup-wise, there's not a question Bologna would win for me, especially considering Turin's campus is actually 40 minutes away, which again is actually insane. That is a huge amount that you're going to have to travel every single day, or you're going to live out by the campus and you're going to miss out on city life, which I really wouldn't recommend. Academically speaking, Bologna's Italian course is definitely a lot more established. They're one of the oldest universities in the world. One of the first ever anatomy books were written there. And you have to consider that just because the Italian program is good does not mean that the English program is good. I'm not saying that the English program isn't good. I'm just saying you can't really make your decision only based on the reputation of the Italian school. So with that, Turin versus Bologna, Bologna is my clear winner. Next, we have Milan versus Bologna, which I think is a little bit of a harder question, but I would still have to say Bologna is going to win for me. The city is a lot smaller. The weather is kind of similar, but Bologna is still slightly more to the south, so I think the weather will be a little bit better. It's cheaper. It's a lot cheaper than Milan. The campus is a lot nicer in my opinion, like a lot nicer. Now, what Milan has as a pro is that it also has multiple graduating classes, and this, you wouldn't think it makes that much of a difference, but it really does. Like, even just in 2 years, so many problems in a course can be taken out of it. And I really think if I was choosing right now, considering Bologna will have had at least one graduating class by the time I start, I think that would give me enough confidence for Bologna to win between IMS and IMS Milan and IMS Bologna. Now, I know you guys are thinking like, oh, but we don't want to know based on the city, we just want to know academically. And I really cannot emphasize enough, guys. Listen, all of the courses are going to be up to a certain standard, right? To be able to be licensed by Italy, all of the courses will be up to a certain standard. Now, of course, some might prepare you a little bit better, some might give you a little bit better resources, but I think really at the end of the day, what you're going to get out of it is what you personally put into it. And so this being said, I think academically, probably Milan and Bologna are pretty well matched. Milan has had more years to sort out their problems. Bologna, in my opinion, has a way nicer campus, a way nicer hospital, and you're going to have a way better lifestyle, like a way higher quality of life, especially price-wise. So in IMS Milan versus IMS Bologna, my clear winner is Bologna. And again, I know I'm biased towards the city, but all things considered, I really personally would rather go to Bologna. So next one is Bicocca versus Pavia. My winner clearly is Bicocca. And now I'm going to kind of explain the reasons why. It's a bit complicated. So in terms of city life there, Pavia is like this small little village about maybe a little less than an hour's train ride from Milan. So you're still not going to be in a metropolitan city, which instantly I do not vibe with. I really like big cities, but if you want somewhere that's like a little cuter, a little bit more contained, that's the life you're going to get in Pavia. Now, Bicocca is located in Bergamo, and it's kind of similar. It's not really hugely metropolitan city at all. You still have to take the train to Milan, but it is closer to Milan, and the closest city, it's not that far, but I'm just saying that neither of them are really big cities. So the reason why in my mind Bicocca is the clear winner is because Bicocca's hospital is mind-blowing. It is so beautiful and modern and clean, and like walking through that hospital, I felt like I was walking through a set of Grey's Anatomy. Like, that's how I imagined like studying medicine would be like in a real hospital. It was just so mind-blowing. And I've talked to students from both of the universities, and Bicocca has much superior practical activities compared to Pavia. To be honest, it was so difficult for us to find a student to interview from Pavia because the first 4 or 5 people refused because they were really angry at their university and didn't want to do the interview. And given that, I just don't have a lot of confidence in Pavia's university. Now, that being said, again, their Italian course is very well established. It's a very historic university. I'm not saying Pavia is a bad university. I'm sure it is absolutely fantastic and amazing and historic and, all of the good things, so that the Pavese aren't writing to me in the comments telling me to shut up. Personally, though, all things considered, I would definitely say Bicocca would be my clear winner if I had to choose between these two universities. Simply just because Bicocca has the most beautiful hospital I've ever seen. They are very practical heavy. You start going into GP work and stuff in first year. They have helicopters. Oh my God, they have helicopters on their campus. And yeah, for me, Bicocca is the clear winner between the two. So next up, we have Milan versus Pavia. For me, again, I'm considering it based on city. I would choose Milan. I would rather live in a bigger city with a lot more opportunities, a lot more things to do, a lot more people to meet compared to Pavia, which again, yes, sure, you can be connected to civilization with a train ride, but I just don't like the idea of living in a town where everywhere you go, you run into people that you know. Like, I would just hate the idea that there's only like 2 bars in the entire city and you go to one place and you just can't escape like your colleagues and your classmates. And, you know, for some people, that's an absolute vibe. That's absolutely fine. If you want to go for somewhere a bit quieter, a bit nicer, probably Pavia. For me, Milan would be the clear winner because, again, even though I didn't super love the campus, I think I would way rather live in a big city where I have so many things to do. I have an abundance of places to go. You know, I can like meet infinite peoples. Personally, I think I would go Milan. And comparing academics wise, Pavia is 1 year older than Milan in terms of the English course, as far as I know, and this could make a huge difference. They do have a medical society, which is kind of cool, but then when I was like in Milan campus, I saw that they had posters up for like president courses, and they had like a very organized student body. So to be honest, I think like student life wise, I don't think it's going to be that different, to be honest with you. Again, a little bit hesitant based on how difficult it was to find a Pavia student to interview. I don't know if we were just unlucky that we came across a few students that just really didn't like the course, but you know, based on this, personally, I think I would go for Milan, both city wise and both like university structure wise. However, if you want something that is more affordable, Pavia is clearly the better option. You can live for much cheaper in Pavia. So if you're considering it from a budget perspective, definitely go for Pavia. If you want something quieter, calmer, you cycle everywhere, like you don't even need to take the bus, you know, you're going to get to know everyone, you're going to be a local everywhere you go, then Pavia is for you. If you want something that, you know, it's a big city, you're going to have a lot more opportunities, you're going to get to do a lot more things, you know, then you should probably pick Milan. So for me, between the two, Milan IMS is like my winner. And now we come on to our last one. I'm actually surprised we didn't get that many Southern university requests. I really thought I was going to be comparing Luigi Vanvitelli to a lot of them, but the one that we got the most is Messina versus Parma. And now this is a really tough matchup. And the reason why I say this is because Parma's English course is located in somewhere called Piacenza, which is, again, ages away from Parma, and Parma is ages away from a big city. So you're basically going to be very isolated when you go to Parma. It's going to be even worse than Pavia. And this is a huge consideration for me. Also, considering where Parma is located, it's also going to be very cold. The weather is not going to be as good. And I think weather makes a huge difference. Like, it really makes a difference on your mental health. You know, what activities you can do during the summer, during your breaks. So I think given how new Parma is, how far it's located in Piacenza, and just the weather, I think I would be leaning more towards Messina. My hesitations with Messina is, it's not the fact that they haven't had a graduating class either. Neither of the universities have. For me, I'm hesitant for Messina for the sole purpose of it's not on Italy's mainland. Now, you can take a boat across to get to the mainland so you can travel easier to the other regions, but honestly, my only hesitation is that it's technically on an island, and this wouldn't be that big of a deal, but I don't know if you want to take like an Easter trip and, you know, take a train to Florence just to see it for a day, or take a day trip to, you know, I don't know, Napoli if you're in Rome. These are really nice little breaks and little holidays, but the problem is if you're on an island, it's going to be a little bit harder and a little bit more expensive. So that's my only hesitation with Messina, but given the weather, where it's located, it's a beach. Like, honestly, I think I personally would take Messina over Parma. Academically speaking, Messina has had more years, and that's honestly like the only thing that's going to make a difference. And so basically those are the 6 that we were asked the most on the Instagram. If you have any other, I would really recommend that you go and follow us, because we always put up like weird little, you know, stickers and things, fun little questions that we might answer in videos. So I would really recommend it. I hope this video was helpful. Please make your decision based on a city, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.